In example 2, we're going to continue to use the law of sines to solve oblique triangles. We have different given information this time. This time I'm given 3 sides. I don't know any angles. So what I'm going to have to do is I have to work backwards to find the angle. We can use any side we want. I like C. Might as well use C. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times the cosine of angle C. So we know side A is 9. We know side C is 12. And we know side B is 7. So I'm substitute those in. So C is 7. So, no, C is 12, sorry. So 12 squared equals 7 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 7 times 9 times the cosine of C. So I'm to solve for angle C. So let's do a little simplifying. So we get 144 equals 49 plus 81 minus 2 times 7 times 9. So that's 14 times 9. I'll use a calculator for 14 times 9. And you get 126. So minus 126 times the cosine of angle C. I can simplify that a little bit more. I can add 49 and 81. So that's 130 then. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. Gives me 13. Now do not subtract 126 and 130 because it's 126 times the cosine of angle C. We have to do the inverse operations. So the first thing we're going to do, let's move that 130 to the other side. So I'm minus 130 from both sides. And I end up with 14 equals negative 126 times the cosine of angle C. So I divide both sides by negative 126. And I will do a little simplifying too. So I'm going to say the cosine of angle C equals negative. If I can divide both of these by 2, I get 7 over 63, right? So negative 7 over 63. Don't let that negative confuse you. It actually makes sense. If the cosine of an angle is negative, that means your angle is obtuse. And that makes sense in this problem because notice angle C is going to be my biggest angle because it's across from the biggest side. So now I know the measure of angle C is going to be the inverse cosine of 7 over 63. So let's use that. So I'm going to take the inverse cosine of negative 7 over 63. And I get about 96 degrees. So I say the measure of angle C is about 96 degrees. I'll put that in my picture too. I like to have everything in the picture there. So now I know angle C is 96 degrees. So now I can use that to find either angle A or angle B. I like angle A. So let's say I want to solve for A, so I'm going to put the sine of angle A. I'm going to use the law of sines now because now I know the side opposite C and side C. So I'm going to say the sine of angle A over A equals the sine of angle C over C. Substitute in my values I know. So the sine of angle A equals divided by side A, which is 9, equals the sine of 96 divided by side C, which is 12. Well, to solve for angle A, I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. So I get the sine of angle A equals 9 times the sine of 96 divided by 12. So now I'll use my calculator. So I'm going to say the sine of angle A So, so I'm going to take 9 times the sine of my answer, which is 96 degrees, and I'm going to divide that by 12. Make sure my brain went blank here. Yeah, I divided by 12. So the sine of angle A is about 0.75. So then the measure of angle A, because we're looking for the angle, is the inverse sine of 0.75. So then the measure of angle A, if I round it to the nearest degree, we take the inverse sine of my answer. Whoops. Yeah, inverse sine of my answer. There we have it. And so I get about 48 degrees. So angle A, we're going to say, is about 48 degrees. And once you know angle A, and I know angle C already, I can use the fact that it's 180 degrees in a triangle to solve for angle B. So I take 180 minus 48 minus 96, and I get about 36 degrees. So we'll say the measure of angle B is about 36 degrees, and there's your answer. Maybe I should write that down. So whoops, went too slow there. The measure of angle B is about 36 degrees. Probably should have a wavy equal sign because it's an approximation. Now, notice what we did here. When you're given an oblique triangle, if you have two angles in any side, you can use the law of sines. If you have two sides in an angle opposite one of them, you can use the law of sines. If you just have side, angle, side, two sides in the included angle, you have to use the law of cosines. And on this problem we just did, if you're given the law of cosines, you have to start with just, if you're given three sides, side, 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 you have to use the law of cosines. So your given information is, if you're given side, angle, side, or side, 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 use the law of cosines. Anything else, use the law of sines.